omumege kiwe wesu garani anya nine oria nine nke pụrịta kwasa mmadụ dị ndụ n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-agwọ ọrịa anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ sunele nke ndị agha ka igwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpeta maazụ nye ha sọgụtụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ise mma dịrị gị Chineke mma dịrị gị Chineke mma dịrị gị Chineke.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. Wherever you are joining me from, please, each time you watch my video, go to the comment section and express yourself. Make your comment, make your contribution, say it the way you feel it. You can criticize if you so desire, but make your criticism constructive so that we can be able to understand from each other and learn from one another. We are all learning. Nobody knows it all. We are looking for a solution. We are looking for a way to protect ourselves. As you all know, the trouble in the contraction called Nigeria is not ending anytime soon. We have to protect ourselves. Self-defense, that is what we are calling for. You have to defend yourself by all means possible. Even the government itself are telling people to defend themselves, even though they are not sincere with the call. But we have to take charge of our own life, make sure we do not give out our freedom to anybody. For those who have forgotten about the prayers that our school leaders in Nnamdi Kanu have told us to pray, please do not forget. I speak about this prayer every now and again because it is very important. If you have not yet joined, it is not yet too late. You can join now. 150 days prayer, we are almost running it. And miracles are happening. A lot of things are happening. Most importantly, the only reason why you must have to pray more, the more reason why you have to pray more in that prayer is because that is the only medium we have to reach out to our school leaders in Nnamdi Kanu this time. The Biafran struggle have taken another dimension. It is now more spiritual than ever. Every single Biafran has to be fighting for this freedom spiritually. If you want to hear from our school leaders in Nnamdi Kanu, join the prayer. If you want to hear directly from our school leader in Nnamdi Kanu, you want him to speak to you one-on-one, join the prayer. Pray along with him. He is a prayerful leader. He is a prayerful leader, praying for you and I 7 times every day. Why can't you pray for school leader in Nnamdi Kanu just once? Just once, so that you can know the way to follow. So many people are in confusion as I'm speaking to you. So many troubles everywhere. Some are just listening to gossip instead of focusing on our freedom. That is why you have to pray along. If you pray, you will not be confused. If you pray along with our school leaders in Nnamdi Kanu, you will never be distracted. You will always know that somebody is there for you. You will always have that faith that somebody is there for you. You will see some people saying that you are tired, some people showing a kind of tiredness, some people deviating from what you're supposed to do and doing a different thing. Some basing their arguments on things that doesn't matter, things that don't go to favor Biafra. That is not the time. The only thing we have to pursue now is the freedom of Biafra, the freedom of our school leaders in Nnamdi Kanu, which is the key to the freedom of Biafra. We have to pursue it diligently in prayer and act towards it by speaking out with our platform, saying what is needful, encouraging each other to continue on the struggle, not discouraging each other, not instilling fear on each other. Don't be afraid. We have overcome the enemies. They are scared to their foot. That is why they are shaking, pushing all kind of buttons. They push all manner of buttons. They have pushed their ethnic buttons. It didn't work. They pushed the religious buttons. It didn't work. They are pushing their divide and rule to all corners, to all organizations, pushing their divide and rule to make sure they scatter the whole table, knowing full well that they have lost the battle. Why are you distracted? Why are you listening to them? Don't be distracted. We must continue. We must continue. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how many people they kill. It doesn't matter how many people they adopt. It doesn't matter the weapon they display. We must continue because Biafra is the destination. Remember, it is Biafra or death. And I assure you, we will not die. We will get into Biafra, walk into Biafra and celebrate. We cannot allow our children to suffer what they have suffered. Biafrans must live and they must exist. And we must restore Biafra. It doesn't matter what it takes. We are speaking of because we are the people who have been marginalized more than any other tribe in that country called Nigeria. The Biafran people have been in captivity for a very long time. We have fought wars. And we come to this stage. We have fought war where the whole world turned against the Biafrans. The whole world turned against Biafrans, killing us for what is right. Nobody spoke for us. We stood for ourselves. Only Chukwu Okugabia was on our side. They tried to exterminate us, but they could not succeed. Today, we are still holding the torch very high. We are holding the torch up today, rescuing every indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria. That is what Biafra is doing. Biafra is a rescue mission. Not only liberating themselves, rescuing every contraption trapped in that country of Nigeria. That is the wonderful work that Unveiled MAZI NNAMDI KANU have said. We will not allow their propaganda to fry. You see some of them coming out to say that we are all Biafrans. When you are saying we are all Biafran, you cannot feel what Biafrans feel unless you are truly a Biafran. Do not buy the idea of somebody telling us we are all Biafrans, trying to water down what we are feeling, trying to water down our agenda, trying to water down what we are looking for. If you are not truly a Biafran, you can never be a Biafran. A person from the north telling me that we are all Biafran, somebody who is a Biafran telling that we are all Biafran, for that you try to water, just like what do they call him? What do they call him? The Atiku Abubakar was saying. Atiku Abubakar in his statement where he was making speech saying that we are all Biafran. Look at Atiku Abubakar telling me that we are all Biafran. Atiku Abubakar is not a Biafran because he doesn't feel what we feel. He doesn't know what we know. He has not gone through the pain that we are going through. So when somebody tried to water the struggle down by telling us that we are all Biafrans, we reject it. We are not all Biafrans. The Biafrans know themselves. The Biafrans know themselves and know what we feel. We have lost a very good number of people. We have lost soul and are still losing to date. A lot have been denied from Biafran and are still being denied from them today. Nobody is speaking up. We are losing people. Blood is flowing in Biafran land and somebody is coming out to claim that he is a Biafran when he is not. We know the Biafrans when we see them. Do not come and water down our struggle and tell us that we are all Biafrans. We know those who are Biafran. Everybody from the old southeastern region, every single soul from the old southeastern region, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your tribe. If you are from the old southeastern region, you are a Biafran. Speak to me, I will listen to you. Speak to me, I will listen to you. Not somebody who doesn't know what Biafran is all about, telling us we are all Biafran to water down our struggle. You can't water it down. We know what we want and we continue to pursue it. No matter what it costs, we will get it. This is where the Biafran struggle has gotten to. It is a spiritual struggle and we are moving on. And nobody can stop us. You can see what they are doing all over. In Benue State, the Benue State governor, who is speaking for his people and standing for his people, unlike the governors who have in the southeast, they are plotting to kill him. The federal government of Nigeria is attacking the man from all corners because this man stands for what is right, saying that open grazing cannot be practiced in Nigeria because it is not allowed. We are in the new generation, and it is this same open grazing that I invited the Fulanis to kill people in numbers. After this governor have made this speech, the government of Nigeria are plotting to kill him. And Garba Shehu has come on national television to threaten this man, talking all sort of trash in national television, still insisting on grazing. And you are there sitting down, calling yourself a Southerner, supporting the one Nigeria that is going to kill you, one Nigeria that is going to take away your life. You don't know what is coming. Listen to Garba Shehu, the spokesman of your president, the late Mohammadu Buhari. Listen to him, then you will know what is coming for you.
The presidency, in a statement today, says, quote, specifically, oThe stirs up hatred by targeting one single ethnic group in Nigeria using language reminiscent of the Rwandan genocide, end of quote. The presidency believes the governor's statement is ethnic in tone and could divide the nation. That's the point where we begin the conversation tonight, everyone. And we get the presidency to speak more on this matter and the issues raised by Governor Samuel Ortom. I'm being joined by the president's media assistant, Mr. Garba Shehu, who joins us from Paris in France. Thank you so much, Mr. Shehu, for your time tonight on the program. It does look like the president is not happy with what Governor Ortom said. What exactly is the mind of the president on some of the statements made by Mr. Ortom?
Thank you for giving us this opportunity and to say that the president has shown extraordinary patience, stomaching a lot of the garbage that Governor Autumn has been pouring upon him. I am not sure in the history of this country there had been any president who would have taken all of the insults that Governor Autumn has been heaping on this president. And on the president's directive, we have ignored him. Most of the time we have said nothing. But it is also said that lies told many times, over and over again, they can assume the coloration of the truth, can be mistaken for the truth. And it is at this point that we decided to say, look, let us set the record straight. President Buhari does not kill people. He is not a cultist. Governor Autumn should stop spreading fears about a president who is humane, who is fair, who is just. And all of the falsehood he spreads perhaps speak to his own character rather than that of the president.
What exactly, if you can tell us, are those things that the president is not happy with? In some of the conversations that Governor Autumn was engaged with, I remember vividly he was talking about grazing routes, ranching, the agreement at the National Economic Council meeting, and what the governor's positions are on the grazing routes. But what in specific is the president not happy about? Can you tell us?
Well, let me say that so many things are in what you have just said now. The issues of grazing reserves or ranching are matters that are being competently handled by the National Economic Council, chaired by the Vice President. They have a plan for all of these things. And the plan, on that plan, there is a buy-in by about 24, 25 states. Now, what remains is for action to follow. And the action has begun to take place in a number of states. I think about 10 states so far in the country have set up secretariat for those schemes. What the president did lately is nothing that should have warranted these insults, because he just set up a committee under the chief of staff and technical people to audit grazing land. There are reports as submitted by the Ministry of Agriculture indicating that these reserves are in as many as 24 states. Is that true? Can you audit, verify? If they come to your state and they find that these facts are not, is the government not auditing Niger Delta Development Commission now? And the fact that you are auditing, does that presuppose that people are already guilty, or that they have no explanation for what has happened? They should allow the committee to report. And at the point which action is being taken, if you see government going in a direction that you don't want, you can complain. When you ask a question about the kind of things that he says, on your own TV network, Channels Television, you had Autumn lining up people behind him, asking President Buhari, come and kill us. Buhari, come, kill us. Now, is that the way to treat a president of this country? Because the president does not speak, because he is a decent gentleman who does not order executions, as we have had in the history of this country. So please, I think that the Benue people are largely peaceful, they are law-abiding, and they love their neighbors. This wedge driving by Governor Autumn between Benue and their neighbors has got to stop. In any case, if he doesn't, this is a democratic system of government. What we're saying is that less than 2 years from now, they have an opportunity to put in a governor who will reconstruct and restore their relationships with everyone, including the Fulani, for whom he has so much hatred, and he's driving towards Rwanda if care is not taken.
Governor also mentioned a few things, part of which he made allusion to Katsina State being given some funds to drive the ranching agenda. Is that true? Can you confirm that to us?
Yes, Katsina has been given money, but Katsina is not the only one that has been given. So far, about 24 billion naira has been issued to about 4 states for ranching and associated activities. Yobe has been given, Ebonyi has been given, FCT has been given, and a number of states, more than 10 states, are now being processed for these payments. So we have had all this nonsense being said, including by lawyers who ordinarily should be respected, accusing the president of this thing or that. The president cannot be nepotistic. He cannot descend so low as to do what others before him have done. He is a fair and just leader, and the fact that Katsina got money, in fact, 1 or 2 of these states got their own before Katsina, but it's because they didn't go to town with it. That is why people are calling out president, and the governor of Benue is saying all this trash against him. So it's a process, and the state governments are lining up, and if you are ready, you meet up with the given criteria, you get funded. The president's wish is that this open grazing should end. Nobody wants it. Yes.
Will the presidency or the federal government, that is, be giving the same 6 billion to every state of the federation?
I believe that there is no basis upon which any state will be denied so long as they have the states. But of course, you know, states such as Benue have proclaimed openly that they have no land for ranching. Or where it is available, it is not open. By the way, their laws are written as such that nobody can access it if you don't belong to a given ethnic group that is preferred by the administration in the state. So all of these things matter. People have to be fair to everyone. If you want justice for yourself, do justice to other people as well.
Let me allow you to also clarify or speak to what some of the things Governor Autumn mentioned. And it has to do with the issue of the Land Use Act, which allows the governors of each of the states to take charge of the land under their territory, in their states. And according to him, he said at the meeting where they sat with the vice president chairing the meeting, that the governors agreed that ranching should be the way to go, but that with this idea of grazing routes, it's totally against what the governors agreed upon. And so it does look like, from what he said, that the presidency is going against the wishes of the 36 state governors.
Well, there are matters of technical detail which I may not have. But ranching, by the wish of everyone, is the goal of the administration of President Mohammadu Buhari. But you are not going to get there in 24 hours. You have to plan for it, because all of the things that are required, water, the greens, and even the land have to be provided. And again, I hope you get us clear. At no point is President Buhari telling anybody that he is in charge of land under the constitution, not to the states. No, federal government wants to work with the states. And some of these states, like Katsina, we just mentioned, Katsina, if you like to know, is already recovering some of these grazing routes from people who have encroached. And they are doing it following their own laws. Now, you are saying that there shouldn't be routes. Are you applying? Is anyone implying that you cannot move animals from one point of the country to the other, even for market or medical other purposes, veterinary and so on? that you cannot move them from point A to point B. And if you need to do that, they have to move away from the farm so that they don't eat up, their crops, and then violence ensues. These are matters anyway, the governors, with good heart, with good intention, they should be able to sit down around the table with the federal government and agree on what to do. Ranching is the way to go, and is the modern system. Nobody is tied to the past. The thing is that you cannot jump from one to the other without making the necessary preparation for what is to come.
So, if you say ranching is the way to go, is the modern approach in animal husbandry, but when the president talks about resuscitating or trying to bring alive the grazing routes, does that not come against in conflict with the concept of ranching, which it looks like it's a popular idea accepted by many?
Well, I don't know how they will achieve that, but if Shewin, you need a cow to celebrate Christmas or Salah, depending on which one you do, and this cow happens to be in Niger State, and you are in Lagos, is the assumption that you will carry this cow on your head? If you like, you cannot, you as a Nigerian, move this cow, walk it to Lagos, if that is your wish. I'm saying I don't fully understand where people are going. If the idea is to resuscitate grazing,
walking their cattle across the country,
there are states that are willing and ready to have those back. In any case, they have some of them have said they have already relaunched it. Borno State, for instance, Nasarawa, and a number of them, Adamawa. So states have choices to make of what they want. We have to modernize this system, and it will require a process to do this. How do we get there? I think this is where the disagreement is. But for states like Benue, who say they don't even have an inch of space for some of these things, do they have anything to offer to the new system that they're saying they have signed on to?
But how would you interpret, Mr. Shehu, how would you interpret when the state says we cannot or we will not embrace this idea of grazing routes? What we want is ranching because of the history of the killings and the clashes that we've seen between farming communities and these herders. And perhaps the stories of the foreign herders who mask, who are in disguise, coming as herders, but with AK-47 and some other sophisticated weapons. And so the governors in the southern region of the country came to say there will be a ban on open grazing, and they will not allow the transportation on foot of cattle from northern region to the southern region of the country. Will the federal government, or is the federal government opposed to the position of the southern governors?
The Minister of Agriculture probably will be in the best position to give you this answer. But if you are to allow me to make my own assumptions, states are entitled to make their own laws, as many have done. Do the laws make sense? Do they abide by Constitution of the Federal Republic? Do they respect rights of all citizens? Do they respect our treaties and obligations assigned under ECOWAS? All of these things are important. And again, there is a problem with some of the assumptions that you yourself have presented. Some of these generalizations that people make, that the killings and the rape and all of these things are on account of Fulani herders. It is unfair and just I'm not saying I'm here to defend. There are Fulani criminals. There are Fulani criminals. Let me repeat. There are Fulani extremists and criminals, as there are Hausa and Yoruba and Igbo bandits and criminals. And in any case, a state like Benue, which has been so outspoken on this matter, they have the law against grazing. And my assumption is that arising from all of that, all of the Fulani herders have been expelled. Now, so now what is happening to the cultists who are sometimes politically motivated, cultists who are ethnically motivated, who go on killing sprees between one community and another. So who drives those ones out of the town? So all of these things there are problems of law and order, of criminality all across the country. But for anyone to now say this is accounted for by one ethnic group of the country is absolutely wrong and is unfair. And this is where we are heeded in places where this anti-Fulani agenda is being driven to the point where if care is not taken, they would begin to lynch, they would begin to stone you for just being Fulani, whether you have wronged anyone or you have not. And a government has a responsibility to give protection to every citizen in their life and property.
How does the president, being a Fulani man himself, approach this very touchy and very sensitive matter? It does need to be approached very carefully. But give us an idea of how he's approaching it, such that for those who are accusing him or making allegations, because he's a Fulani man, and some of the events of the past, can you give us an idea of how he's approaching this such that it doesn't escalate into a bigger tension? Well,
he wants the country's law to be obeyed and the constitution that we have in place. And there are people who make assumptions that the day President Buhari stops being president, he exits that office. Well, this campaign against the Fulani will disappear because much of it is politically driven. Or some of the states that are hardest hit are probably selected and targeted in order to cause maximum political embarrassment. And it gives, if you allow me just a second, it gives me an opportunity to respond to my younger brother Kola on the earlier parts of the program. I think that the PDP people are shameless people. They ought to show remorse and regrets for the lack of preparedness of the Nigeria police and the military to confront ongoing security challenges in the country. They had given President Muhammad a rotten police and a rotten army with nothing, air force that could not fly, police that don't even have tear gas. So what are you talking about? President Buhari is trying to rebuild what he destroyed over 16 years of his rule. And then you have the mouth to come and talk and say that the president, whether he should resign or they should convene emergency parliament because he has failed. You failed the nation. And you take responsibility. That's why your party has gone into voluntary liquidation. Because it can no longer be sustained on the basis of falsehood.
Because we are in a democracy, Mr. Shehu, the voices of the majority carries the day. That is the rule in a democracy. When President Buhari has an idea on an agenda on a particular policy, but it's been met with resistance from perhaps governors and perhaps a larger population of other people within the sector where this policy is supposed to operate. Will President Buhari still continue in such an idea? And I give an example. On these grazing routes and this idea of open grazing or grazing idea, and people are hacking it down, they said they do not want it. Will President Buhari still go ahead in pursuing that agenda?
Sheung, as we speak at this time, all that the president asked a committee to do is to audit the grazing reserves, audit them. What would he with the report? Why don't you give him a chance? Allow the report to come in. If he says, okay, the police or army go and take back land, the states can now begin to scream against that policing. And what you say against the majority, that if the president cannot act against the majority. Rather, he will act against a vocal minority which is used to privileges that are no longer sustained by a democratic, accountable system of government that he runs in the country. We have a parliament in the country, and the president is never in disagreement with the majority decision of the Nigerian parliament. Go and check the decisions.
After hearing from Garba Shehu, you can see that all is not well. You have to wake up before it is too late. If you do not wake up, you are going to pay with your own life. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter if you call yourself elite. It doesn't matter how much you have in your account. It doesn't matter what you are doing, what you think you can do. They will surely take you down. The plan of the Fulani Janjaweed is not to listen to anybody from the southern part of Nigeria. They want to make sure they overrun that country with the shortest time that they have. And they are doing it by all means with the support of the government. They are using the tools. The money gotten from the Biafran land, the money gotten from Biafran land is what they're using to sponsor the killing of Biafrans. And we say no to that. We will not be silent. Every well-meaning person from the southern part of Nigeria have to wake up. Stop talking about 2023 election. It is not for you. It is to kill you. 2023 election is not for you. It's not for anybody from the southern part of Nigeria. More especially people from the southeast. Starting from Anambra election, if you are talking for that election, you are signing your death warrant. I say it again and again because the government of the Janjaweed will definitely kill you. We cannot continue to empower those that enslave us. We cannot continue to empower a system that enslaves us. The civil disobedience have to start now. In the southern part of Nigeria, anybody from the southern part of Nigeria, a well-meaning who wants to save life, start the civil disobedience in your own way. Starting from Anambra election in Biafra land, there will be no election. For those who are preparing to participate in that election, you are preparing for your date. We are only helping you to make sure you stay alive to walk into Biafra. But if you decide otherwise, that you want to give out your life, you do not want to walk into Biafra, it is up to you. But there will be no election in Biafra land anymore. Starting from Anambra State, it doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter what they plan, it doesn't matter how they plan to do it. Let them bring the whole armor tanks into Anambra State. There will be no election because Chukwu Abiyama have signed it. Chukwu Abiyama say what we want now is referendum. A time to give us our referendum. For those of them who are trying to participate in election, it doesn't matter if you are contesting for any post in the country called Nigeria, withdraw or you sign your death warrant. If you are participating to be one of the electoral commissioner, electoral whatever, to go and participate and officiate in election in Anambra State, you are going to kill yourself. You are committing suicide already. If you have applied, withdraw. Go and look for a job if you don't have a job to do. If that is the only means you can make money, go and look for another means, look for something else to do. Because the government of the Janjaweed will kill you. And they will try to flame the indigenous people of Biafra. They will try to frame IPOB. They will try to frame our Husbandry MAZI NNAMDI KANU by killing you. They have tried it in the past and they're going to do it again. That is why we do not want to be part of this system that kills us anymore. We want a system that works for us, and that is what we are for. We are going to pursue it with every strength we have. Referendum now. That is what we want. And nothing else. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them at the end of the day. Biafra is already here. Biafra is here. We are waiting for Husbandry MAZI NNAMDI KANU to come out and take us to Biafra. And he is coming out very, very soon. We are not scared. We are not weak. We are not shaken. You can't distract us. The destination is Biafra and we must get into Biafra. We are ready to get into Biafra. The Biafrans have shown that they are more than ready. You can see the way they are operating. Sitting at home. Through the command of Chukwu Abiyama himself. They are following Husbandry MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Speaking the voice of Husbandry MAZI NNAMDI KANU, because what is happening outside now is exactly what Husbandry MAZI NNAMDI KANU will do for others. He has been fighting for every tribe, every indigenous tribe, every oppressed person in the country called Nigeria. Now it is our turn to fight for him and we have to speak up. He must surely come out. It doesn't matter what the governors do. It doesn't matter what they say. Our Sulani Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must surely come out very, very soon. May Chukwu Okike continue to protect our Sulani Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide our Sulani Mazi Kanu, bring him back to us very, very soon, so that we can walk into Biafra with our head lifted high and sing the national anthem of Biafra in joy. Very, very soon, we shall all rejoice in that land that flows with milk and honey. A land that Chukwu Okike has given us. Nobody will take it from us. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're watching from, and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.